Okay, we need to talk about Bayverse Starscream. I just got to get this off my chest real quick. This bot is not Starscream. He don't look like Starscream. He don't act like Starscream whatsoever. Personal opinion here. I can allow some characters to change only if it benefits the story, but sometimes it's better when the franchises or the characters themselves stay consistent to how they're meant to be. And let me make this clear. I understand this is a different interpretation and or adaptation of Starscream. The Transformers franchise have changed a few characters here and there when it comes to their looks and even their names. Starscream from Armada, for instance, was drastically changed and his character was amazing. Starscream from Transformers Prime and animated looked different, but they kept his personality. Starscream is the most iconic villain that you couldn't possibly screw up, and the Bayverse writers done messed it up for his character. The best way I could describe his character is that he's a combination of Sunstorm and Thundercracker from Transformers Animated. No, seriously, this bot be on Megatron's vitamin D whenever he's around Megs. And when he's fighting Autobots or toying around with Sam, he acts psychotic, especially when he spits for some reason. Don't get me wrong, I do like Bayverse Starscream for the most part. He has a pretty interesting and weird design. I do like his Dorito body type with the weird chicken legs and Cybertronian tattoos he got in Revenge of the Fallen. But this screamer ain't it, Chief. He has never once betrayed, tried to kill, or at the very least, talk shit and get hit by Megatron. Even when he left Earth in the first movie, at the post-credits, he never once bragged about being leader.
Return to base. Megatron is dead. I'm the leader now. Follow me.
And I don't want to hear he probably said it in Cybertronian. Stop right there. There is no confirmation of what he said. The only thing they got right about him is that he gets bitched around by Megatron in Revenge of the Fallen, but not necessarily for the right reasons.
It could be anywhere.
And listen, I get it. I know some people in the comments are going to have their own opinion about Bayverse Starscream, saying that he looks cool, he's scary and menacing, and he has cool scenes where he looks like a total badass. I get it, and I completely agree with you. There's no doubt about it. But I would prefer to have this Bayverse Starscream to have character development. Something that can actually make him more menacing and much more of a threat. Something that we can try to take him more seriously. Like the other characters. And one more time, just to clarify things. I'm not saying that Starscream should be G1 accurate. Again, there are so many characters that share the same names but have totally different personalities. I'm just saying that he should be at least a little bit more interesting than what we got from the movies. Character development is literally the most important thing of all. It's what gets audience to be intrigued with these characters and what makes us like them more. And don't even get me started on how they sort of retcon his death in The Last Night. His head was blown to pieces in Dark of the Moon, but his head is fully intact in The Last Night. I'm sorry, but this is why I hate this movie. It just has massive retcons throughout the film series. I don't mean to nitpick, but he hasn't fought any Autobots and or Autobots since the Force fight. The comics even handle him right, even though it's not canon. One of the key factors about Starscream is that he's an ambitious, cunning, backstabbing coward with a superiority complex that even makes other Decepticons despise him. He's so full of himself that Megatron and sometimes other Decepticons have to put him in his place.
Someday I'll be giving the orders, Rumble. You'll do what I say. Look, Starscream, Megatron is strong. He's merciless. He can't be beaten. And you'll never be our leader. Please, Lord Megatron. I meant no.
I ordered you to await my command.
The supreme leader you have chosen to crush the Autobots and lead the Decepticons to victory!
You were not chosen!
True. You did threaten us.
Why should you be the supreme god? I'm a much better choice!
Quiet, Starscream. Yes, him. Sadly, Megatron is no longer with us.
Impossible.
Why is this so difficult for everyone to accept? Skyquake, I located you. I awakened you. Thus, I, Lord Starscream, am now your master.
I don't know about y'all, but I felt like that Starscream in Dark of the Moon was just there just to suck on Megatron and to antagonize Sam just so he can die. That's how I personally feel about it. Like, they could have done something more with his character and tried to backstab Megatron and more than likely die for it. I don't know. I just felt like that he could have been something more, way more significant than how he should have been depicted. In the first film, I personally felt that Starscream and the rest of the Decepticons would have been more alluded about their appearance instead of showing up out of nowhere. They could have added a few extra scenes. For instance, after Barricade shows up in an abandoned factory and reports his failure to capture Sam, Starscream would belittle Barricade for not only being incompetent at capturing a human, but proving himself more of a failure at fighting a puny Autobot, hinting at that Starscream saw the whole thing. Barricade would criticize Starscream for just spectating instead of assisting him. Starscream would angrily lecture Barricade, saying that as a leader, he's not obligated to help his foot soldier, and that his main priority is to retrieve the Allspark, something that not even Megatron can do. Bone Crusher angrily makes a smart aleck comment saying that all of them are incompetent and worthless, especially Starscream, while pointing and mocking his leadership and wishing he could scrap them all. Starscream points a missile at him, stating, "I'd mind that tone if I were you, Bone Crusher. That anger and hatred is something that will cost our mission. I do not tolerate failure from the likes of both of you walking junk heaps." Frenzy would radio in the other Decepticons, letting them know that he is with the boy. Starscream orders Frenzy to stay with them, and how the mission is incredibly vital. To Starscream, of course, as he addresses how all the Decepticons will follow under his rule and conquer the Autobots with the power of the Allspark. That's pretty much all I got for this part, so I'll just skip a couple of scenes from here. Starscream raised the Sherman Dam. He radios Frenzy demanding the location of the Allspark. Frenzy notifies Starscream that the humans made their way out with the cube. Starscream aggressively claims how all his subjects can be so incompetent. Unbeknownst to him, Frenzy is on the process of defrosting Megatron from his cryostasis. Once Starscream hears the roaring engines of Megatron, the camera will pan to his face as he's being baffled at the absurd impossibility. Upon seeing Megatron zoom towards him, Starscream figuratively puts on a mask to hide his fear and frustration. Megatron does his supervillain landing as Starscream plays along and praises upon Megatron's return. Megatron cuts him off, demanding to know where the cube is. Scream tells him the humans have taken it. Megatron responds, "I will not lose the Allspark to those accursed Autobots. Find them like the dog that you are and destroy them." Starscream turns around and takes off and replies, "Of course, Lord Megatron," while his face shows how genuinely unhappy he is upon Megatron's return. During the final battle where Megatron gets suppressed by the humans' firepower, Megatron orders Starscream for aerial support immediately. Starscream, seeing this as an opportunity to get rid of Megatron once and for all, helps the human fighter jets target Megatron while quoting, "Have a nice death, and this time, stay offline." He then quickly books it out of the battlefield so fast that not even the other fighter jets can find him. He later can be seen on top of the building, peeking at the site of the Autobots' victory, meaning he already knows what happened with the Allspark. Starscream then looks at Sam and snarls at the fact that a mere human was able to snuff out Megatron with the Allspark. And no cap, it would have been really interesting to see Starscream and Jetfire remembering each other while having a bit of a rivalry in Revenge of the Fallen. They can even have an aerial dogfight. You know, young versus old shtick. That would have been really interesting to see in a film. Plus, it would show us what these planes are capable of. The Blackbird is faster than the F-22 Raptor, so they could try to work something out with it. There are even two ways on how I would handle it. Number one can be simple. During their dogfighting, Starscream comes up with a cunning move in order to shoot down Jetfire. Even though Jetfire has better flight capabilities, he manages to take down Jetfire with only a few damages, with Starscream boasting his name and why he's Ace of the Air.
That looked like it did some real damage.
Don't worry, Jetfire isn't going to die, because he'll be transitioning into this scene.
Stick the landing! Behold the glorious Jetfire!
Before I get to the second part, I don't know if Jetfire can teleport multiple times if he wants, or if it's limited due to how much energy he uses, so I just want to let y'all know. The second way on how this will go is that Jetfire will be able to use his space bridge teleportation to maneuver around Starscream spamming missiles. Jetfire then teleports behind Starscream and temporarily shoots him down, while Jetfire laughs and ridicules Starscream, saying, "You're just as bad as Thundercracker and Skywalk. You can never beat the classics." This could be the reason for why he was absent for half of the battle. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm not going into further depth on how they can make Starscream a better character. I don't know about y'all, but I prefer if they done something more significant to Starscream and make him more compelling throughout the Bayverse. If y'all like Starscream the way he is, that's fair and I can respect you for it. I got no problem if you like this version of Starscream because I like this Starscream as well, but he just doesn't scream Starscream. Plus I wish he was better characterized instead of being a mega simp. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. See you in the next one.
Give the video a like, give the video a shout out, above all, give the channel a groovy subscriber.